Brother Sang. So I think yeah, let's get started with the presentation or the speaking anytime possible.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, boy.
Hello.
Everybody can listen to you.
Okay. Sorry about this. Hi everybody. I have a problem that I don't see anybody here, so I'm
Actually,
to the screen.
Actually,
Yeah, that's one of the issues. But
actually, I think I can.
okay, now it's gets much better.
I don't know. I think like I can connect with. One second.
I think there's actually a
I
meeting.
think you need to turn off the background.
But I don't know how to use it. So
There
actually.
should be like a USB port you can plug it in. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Okay, probably I can.
I think it's in the setting, right? No background effect.
You have to connect the camera first, but I think it will take some time.
Because I'm using the screen more mirroring.
But if you have an iPhone, you can actually use iPhone camera and just use kind of like the wide angle lens. That also works.
So iPhone camera about what?
You can actually connect your phone camera, the iPhone camera, and then you can use kind of like the wide angle camera. Maybe you can see everything.
Oh,
But then you have to configure it on your phone.
yeah.
Yeah, but let's just continue with the presentation.
Oh, actually, we can use my.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like that.
That's a simple.
Okay.
Okay, so Sang, it's around like 20 people here, so a lot of people want to hear from you.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Đức, for organizing this thing. And the first thing I want to say is sorry, everybody, because I didn't expect we meeting offline, and we have kind of problem in the communication, so that's why this issue happened. But all in all, let's move. I guess everybody can see my screen, right? I'm sharing that documentation from Cursor. I guess everybody already familiar with Cursor rule already. So I think I will not like repeat it, but let's go into something that I find interested in. The first one is I hope everybody already aware of how the rule was created. I think I had problem with echo. Okay, it's gone now. Sorry. The first one I would like to remind that I find the nested rule is interesting, because from the way of we put the rules inside folder, it helps us to reduce the numbers of everything inside the cursor, not cursor folder, right? And the second one I find interesting is the rule anatomy. This one is, I think this feature is one of the reasons why I pay for the subscription, because it's kind of hard to find it in the other IDE, for example. I forgot the name, but it's like the extension cleaner inside the VS Code. It doesn't support this type of the rule. I will show it inside the cursor, so it's easier for people to follow it. I think this is the thing I'm talking about. When we create a rule, cursor allows us to change about how the rules apply. For example, in this case, I want this file, this rule about next.js.mdc only apply whenever the AI or the agent working with the file inside the folder, like the directory apps /deploy. This is like the front end of the application. So it will reduce, because everything here is cost token, right? So we don't want, like, for example, when we work with the API, it applies the really long rules about Next.js because it's not related to that. Another thing is something like, let's say, I don't want to use the UFX hook in when we create the component, for example, and I try to let the agent avoid using the use effect as much as possible. So instead of always apply.
Well,
Yes?
one thing is that like probably it's better to like, I don't know, zoom in a little bit, so like everybody can like see it better. Yeah, like this. This is perfect. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes. So, for example, let's continue with this avoid use effect. I just say every time the agent working with this kind of file.tsx, that means it's the React component, then it will read this one. So I think that's all. Then when I going around and learn more about how to improve the rules, of course, all of my rules is just I copy somewhere, like a lot of sources. And when I try to check with Claude, they have a website, Claude Log, where they show almost everything they do it. There's one place they're talking about sanity check, and I find that very interesting. It's very interesting. In here, they do it just like the way any React developer do it. We console log everything to debug. So when they do it, they make the rules, and then after that they ask, hey Claude, what's in my name? This one make me think, what if we make more like comprehensive way of debugging the rules? So I come up with another idea of making rules just for debugging. Because sometimes I feel like the agent is just don't really apply the rule the way I want it to do, but I don't know, right? I don't know if it really applies or not. So I make it a flag called debug rules, where I say, hey, if it's true, then remember it, and if it's false, just ignore the code. So if you aware, every rule I have a code like this, and I tell the agent, hey, just remember this one, and just let's try it. But before running, I would like to show some history. For example, like with the debug rule flag turn on, whenever I ask them, hey, like let's analyze something, and they do it, but they say it in front of that, like the way I say, hey, it's applied those rules, and I can check it, like number 010 is this one about understanding architecture. So yes, they took this into account, and then they also put this number 72, I think it's in here. 71 is the core tuborable concept, and 72 is the best practice. So based on this, I say, okay, it's actually knows, and just put only those two rules, so not everything, right? So it's not put the next, it's not put the memories, thing into that. Even here we say always applies, but it's not applied. This memory rule inside. And to be honest, I don't know why. I'm not sure about this. I just share, and because I find it interesting, and I hope you can help me to move further than this. So I think that's it. I don't have anything else to share. Thank you.
Thank you, Sang. Did you? I didn't notice, but like, did you share the way you demo like using that rules of debugging flag to true, and then is list of all those rules that is using to apply to the answer? Like,
yes, that's the whole idea. Is quite simple. I create rules just for debugging, and we put a flag about true or false inside that. And whenever we really want to see how many rules they really apply into that, we just turn it into true and error. It's a little bit like oversimplified about how to do that, but like you can think the way that first we need to tell the agent about how to recognize the rule template, right? We have the code in front and we have the title behind that. So if the more detail we can put into that, the more information the agent will apply into the result when they show us. That thing I file out. Another thing when I do this experimental is the more expensive the models, the better they follow the rule, because I don't know why, but whenever I use like let's say the Sonnet 3.5, they ignore a lot of rules. I could say I think they apply only one or two over there.
yeah, okay. Yeah, do you think? Okay, please ask a question.
Are there any limitations or downsides when it comes to using cursor rules?
I think just like any, I'm not working for cursor, so I don't really know exactly, but I can only guessing that because everything goes token, right? And the rule is just like the way they apply the system from in front of our code. So yes, they do have downside. For example, if we provide the very lengthy rules and complex, they will create, I think from my experience, it will create at least two problems. The first one is the number of tokens they burn faster than norm. And the second one is they will create something we call it the poison context, because sometimes when the rules is not really related to the problem or the requirement that we really want the agent to follow, right? So it's like when something like our context put into that, and the agent take it very seriously, like everything in that rules, it will make the context become more like destructive. The agent really easy to distract with that unrelated rule. So from my, I think from my experience, I try to make the rule as short as possible, as easy as possible, and not really go into details, because like if we go into very detail about how to do it, like hands-on with the agent, the agent will have more, I don't call it hallucination.
Hallucinate.
I think it's more about, I forgot the name. It's something about like over-educated. So it's like you can imagine like the attention of the agent just get narrowed down if we write the rules very, very detailed. It's, of course, it's like, it can solve some small particular problem in that narrow scenario easier, but then it's really hard to find something outside of that context. That's the thing I aware of.
Yeah, I think in machine learning, that term is overfitting. So you overfit to one.
Yeah.
You cannot like generalize. You lose the generalization to the whole model.
Yeah, that's the expert.
So how do you optimize the rules? How do you optimize the rules? In your experience?
Yeah, from my I think I start very basic rule first. Usually when I start, I try to make it like empty folder, and then one very basic rule about architecture. Like, for example, if I jump into a new project, I try to make really blank project, blank rules about, hey, this is just the project about this business idea. I just list them out. And then I just start adding whenever I face problem. For example, recently I found the agent have more problem with two variable. That the way we have like mono-variable project, right? We have one project with the front end and back end, and also some UI library inside the same big huge project, like inside one project. So whenever they do the install or remove package, they tend to like change directory inside and do it, and that violate the way of working with two variables. So I just draft a new rule about how to work with two variables and make it a new rule for that thing. It kind of solves how you don't change directory into that and just install in the root folder, for example. In that way, it helps. So just, add only when you need it, then don't just over put that rule, because I think Cursor already have a lot of smart rule about how to do the project in the bigger overview context. So we just try to let them know the current project issue that we try to solve instead of over engineer everything. I think that's the key.
Thank you.
Does Cursor go through every MVC file in the rules, and do you notice if there's like a trade-off in terms of like speed of the response when you have a lot of rules?
To be honest, I think no, because I'm not sure about how Cursor do it behind the scene, but I think in some project I have up to 20 rule or something, and it just have the same speed with like in the project I had 0 rule or just 1 or 2 rules. I think in the end the Cursor do a thing about, I read somewhere that they combine the rule that needed, and then they compress them into something smaller. So I think even when we try to have a lot of rules, they also try to get rid most of them and keep only the thing that they think is relevant to the issue that they're trying to solve. So even when we intend to use very long tree of the rules, they also try to compress them in a way that maybe that's their secret, but I think that's how they do it. So, but in their documentation, they also they mention that we should write very short and concise rules about that. So I think it makes sense.
I have a question.
Please.
Have you ever researched if other competitors have the same functionalities, like adding rules and everything? Because usually in company setting, you cannot always use Cursor, but you have to use Copilot or Windsurf because the company buys you the license for that. So is it like all these rules, are they applicable to other tools as well?
Um, I don't have the opportunity to try every IDE, but I think from my understanding, they don't have the ability to understand the metadata from MDC file. At least that's what I aware of, because the MDC is really I think that's in the cursor invention, so that's why they support it natively. But like, let's say the cleaner extension, I see that they already try to make a pull request about how to support the MDC. So hopefully they will support in the future, but I'm not sure about that because I'm not in the developer team of that. But everything below that is, I believe, the other IDA will just read the rules and apply everything into the context. So I think yes, they will use the rules, but they will not respect the metadata, for example, about the glove, or the flag about always apply, or apply smartly depend on the context or the folder, for example. That feature will be only supported on cursor only.
Yeah. Oh, I have one question. So about your idea that you just present about like ask the agent to list all the rules that is applying to the answer and before the answering. So do you think that probably is better to build an MCP to do that instead of like rules 5 with a flag that you did like debug true, and but like if we create an MCP, well, like I think it's gonna work quite well, right? Or what do you think about that?
This is very interesting idea, and I think like why not? Nothing prevent us to do that thing. So I hope maybe next time we will have time to just do that experimental and let's see what happens. But yeah, I think it's possible, but not sure about how much it will cost us, like for example, because right now I'm a little bit busy with the project already. So let's try. I hope somebody already. But like, feel free to ping me. I think just contact, and if you need any help, I'm more than welcome to join your project if you need this help. Anything.
Nice. So anybody have any questions?
When it comes to the MDC file, is it like one rule per MDC file, or is there like practices when it comes to setting the rules and the MDC?
I'm not really understand. Do you mean like one rule for one small particular requirement, or?
I saw your rules folder has a lot of config. So is it one rule per file, or is there like some practices, like how do you make like a good rule?
Okay. I think the way I'm doing, I'm trying to have one file. It could be have multiple rules inside one file, but I try to put it into one. How to use the correct terms here?
Like a category?
Is it like context?
One file?
Yeah, it's more like context. Or for example, I have one rule for Next.js because Next.js have something similar. So even I have 2 or 3 applications, it still follow that one rule only, right? And I have another rule for server and another rule for tuple repo. So like 3 of them have 3 different, I think, separated of concern. I think that's the term in the engineer they try to do it. So sometimes the concern is quite big and sometimes the concern is quite small, right? Let's say the Next.js is the small concern, but the tuple repo is bigger because the tuple repo is how we organize the whole bigger project. So the way we use the rules over there is more agnostic. like not really particular into anything. But like for Next.js, it's more about React and so on, like let's say in that way. Or I have a very small rule for not using use effect, for example, because I don't like that way. So I have very small rule for one small concern that way. So because with that way, I feel easier whenever I face problem. For example, when the agent answer me is the like not satisfied response. I know exactly which rule to jump directly into that because I can see, hey, it goes something wrong with tuple. I will directly to the tuple instead of just guessing which way or where the rule is storing. So yeah, I think it's time to leave the stage back to Đức.
Okay,
Thank you very much for the participation, and hopefully next time I can join you guys.
Yeah. It's actually quite unexpected. Like, I always thought like we're going to offline, and you always thought that we are doing online. So I have no idea why is that, but yeah. But anyway, it's still quite smooth. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks you everybody. Have a great day.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Right. Okay, so one sec.